It's about 6:30 at night, 16 degrees outside, beautiful full moon. I've got a sled full of supplies for the log cabin. We're gonna try to make it out there tonight and spend the night. It's supposed to get down to about 4 degrees tonight. This is the worst part of the whole trip. It's all uphill right here. Well, now the sled's in a bigger hurry to get there than I am. Well, I finally made it to the cabin and it took me just over an hour to get out here. It's about 7:30 now and the first thing to do is get this wood stove hooked up. The metal's so cold my gloves keep sticking to it. Alright, let's see if we can get this fire going now the stove's all hooked up. I brought this little box from home full of kindling wood. There, now that the stove's all ready to light, I bet I can get it going with just one match. Yeah, nothing to it. So the official temperature in here is, we'll say just shy of 30 degrees, which isn't bad since it's in the teens outside, so this place is already holding heat. We'll see how quick it warms up with the stove going. All right, let's see what the official temperature outside is. 17.4 degrees. There, now I feel like I got a whole bunch more room. I've never stayed out here by myself before, so this is going to be something new. Alright, so I brought out these strips of wood because on the door there are these seams. And last time we stayed in here I could feel the air coming in through there, so I'm going to block them off with these. Next on the agenda is firewood, and something tells me that's not going to get me through the night. There, I feel good about that. I think I got enough firewood for the night. And I've had the fire going for about, I'd say about an hour now. And the outside temperature is currently, it says 12.4. Let's see what the inside temperature is. It says about 42.6. I'd like to have gotten out here a little bit earlier, but there's two reasons I was late. The wood stove took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, and we were having tacos for dinner, so I had to stay for that. All right, now that I'm all settled in, let me show you what I have in the pantry for this trip. We've got some bologna, we've got 2 beers, we've got some mustard, some dinner rolls, some brown sugar, the leftover Korean barbecue Spam from the Spam taste test, and apples, cinnamon, sugar, oatmeal, flour to make like an apple cobbler. And of course, I forgot to bring a frying pan. I might dump that Spam into the bag and cook the apple crisp in the Spam can. I really want a hot Korean barbecue Spam sandwich, so I've got an idea. A trusty can opener. It's sizzling, sorta. I'm gonna get those apples going while this is going too. Well, that's the best I can do. I made a nice little lid for the apples, and I'm gonna go ahead and put them inside the stove. Well, it sounds like they're cooking already. My Spam smells like it's done, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on this bun. It's hot, but it's not crispy. I'd like it better if it was crispy. I'm gonna throw another piece on there while the apples are cooking. Remembered I have my fork and spoon. Let's find the thinnest piece we can. Alright, Spam sandwich number 2. And those apples are smelling amazing. I can't wait to try those. Alright, I might have jumped into this one a little too quick. It's warm. We'll eat it. Let's check those apples. I think they're done. They're a little burnt on one side. Alright, let's try these apples. They look pretty darn good. Maybe dig down in the bottom a little bit. Oh, all the gooey stuff's on the bottom. Look at that. Alright, that might be a little bit burnt. You can't even taste the Spam. That's pretty good. Alright, I gotta get my sleeping bag laid out and then I'm gonna go to bed. Wait a minute. There we go. Oh. I feel a draft. Alright, one final temperature check before bed. Inside we're reading 51.6. Alright, the temperature outside keeps going back between 8.6 and 7 point something, so. Alright, I'm all set for the night. I got the wood stove filled up as much as I can. I'm all tucked in. I'll let you know how it goes in the morning. Good morning. It's about 7:30 in the morning. And it's a lot brighter outside now, so it's become quite apparent where all my drafts are. You can see here right above my head. That's outside. That's why I got so stinking cold. It's a good one. That's outside. Alright, I've pretty much used up all my firewood. Let's do a temperature check. It says we're 36 degrees. 35. I almost slept on one of the upper bunks, but I figured it'd be too hard to put wood in the stove in the middle of the night. Now, I slept pretty good last night. I woke up at 2 o'clock, put wood in the stove. 4 o'clock, put wood in the stove. Again at 5:30 and discovered the wood from 4 o'clock didn't start burning. So I got that going at 5:30 and then again at 7:30. So it wasn't terrible. About every 2 hours, you had to put wood in the stove. And at the 5:30 break, I put a pot on the stove with water. I don't know if it's hot enough for coffee, but it'll definitely be warm enough for oatmeal. Well, now that I've got the oatmeal all made up, I'm going to go out and get a bunch of wood and really pack this thing full and see if I can get it to percolate some coffee for me. Look like coyote tracks. Now, were they here before I was or after? While I'm waiting on my coffee, I'm going to eat my oatmeal. That hits the spot. Nice and warm. I can smell that coffee already. And it's getting nice and warm in here. I'm gonna get all my stuff packed up and then I'm gonna have myself a cup of coffee. I brought the sled in because yesterday when I drug it down through that creek, it got a bunch of ice on the bottom and made it really hard to pull, so I'm going to try to get that melted off before I leave. Now I think a few more good times around with some moss and plug up all these cracks, I think it can stay really nice in here. So next summer, I guess we're going to have to pick a whole bunch of moss. I'd like to keep like a 5-gallon bucket in here of moss at all times. I'd like to have one last night, but there's about a foot of snow out there, so I couldn't find any. Now the sled's all thawed out, so I'm going to get all my stuff packed up and I'm going to start heading home. I do fully intend to ride that sled down the hill with all my gear in it too. Alright, stove's all shut up, so let's hit the road. Alright, the final departing temperature is 15 degrees. Quite chilly, but it's absolutely beautiful out here this morning. Not a cloud in the sky. Well, except for those ones. The deer seem to like the sled path. I don't blame them because the other stuff's tough to walk in. Alright, we've made it to the hill. I'm going to make sure the rifle's unloaded and I'm going to ride this thing down to the bottom, hopefully. No big deal. Phew! Alright guys, I can see the house from here, so that's it for this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. Woo!